Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Jojo Palacio, and on this channel, we talk about all things beauty. Today on this channel, we are doing this look right here. When I tell you that I am so inspired for this holiday season, for this Christmas season, I am not kidding. Like, I've been going through YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, just to look for inspiration on looks, and I came up with a combination of looks to create this for you guys right here. I am quite literally very impressed with myself. 1, 2, so in love. Like, look at this look. If this is not an attention grabber, if this is not out of your comfort zone or something different, then I don't know what else is. But I hope that you guys are interested in creating this look. If you are, keep watching this video. However, before you continue, subscribe to my channel. I have goals of getting to 1,000 subscribers by 2021, and I know that we can still do it. Even though we are 2 weeks away from the year ending from 2021, you have to stay positive. You have to stay with your goals in mind. You have to keep whatever it is that you're working towards at the top of your list. And so I'm putting it out there in the universe. We are getting to 1,000 subscribers thanks to you guys. So subscribe to my channel. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday of every single week on content like this that's makeup related, on tips and tricks, hacks, how to save money when you're buying makeup, etc., skincare, all that good stuff. So without any more delay, if you want to get this poreless, smooth, amazing glam moment, then just keep on watching. All right guys, so zoomed in and ready to go. I've actually already prepped this eyelid. I have my Rumor Eye Base by P. Louise, and then I also popped this guy open. So this is the Viseart eyeshadow palette. I talk about this and how I got it for $9 on my cheap Christmas gift idea video, so I'll link that right above so you guys can see it, just because this palette originally is $80. So won't talk about it too much. I'm kind of proud of myself. Won't talk about it too much because I did already in that video. But what I did was use this guy right here, which is that white shade, to kind of just set over everything so that we have a nice base to work with. So we are here to work on this eye look right here. So the first thing that I wanted to do was just kind of give myself some comfort. And what I mean by comfort was just to kind of have somewhere to map out the shape that I'm going for. So to do that, we are going to use this edge right here that's on the eyeshadow base. That edge is gonna go right up against your eye line. I like to make sure that I align it to the lower lash line versus the top lash line so that that eye just looks lifted and not cut off. And then what I did was just make sure we take a minute to match it up to the other eye so that our wings are both headed up and not kind of, you know, crooked. And I went into the Viseart palette and I got this cool tone, almost like a purpley brown shade here. It looked like a contour shade, which is really what I wanted. I wanted just something in the background to help me as I'm doing this wing. So I'm gonna lay that down first. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. And so what I did is I just kind of traced it very lightly over this line so that I had somewhere to go. And then I did the same thing with my eye open, because I will tell you guys what, this eye folds over more than this eye. So that to me is number one, I'm very self-conscious, very aware of it. Number two, I just want to make sure that the shape is similar even though the eyes are different. So with your eye open, I just encourage you to drag whatever is left over on the brush really into the shape here so that we can create that same shape. And it's always best to do this with your eye open, because sometimes I do looks with my eyes closed and then I'm like, that's nowhere near. So now that we're looking at it, we can see that the shape is kind of following each other and that everything is gonna look pretty similar. And not only that, but I have a little vote of confidence now that when I'm doing my liner, I know where I'm going. So the next thing that I did was actually pull out the gold shade. I have two products that I use to create this gold lid. So I wanted a base so that the glitter didn't just have glitter and then skin showing through. I wanted something underneath it. So I have this Too Faced Crystal Whips. It's a shimmering eyeshadow. And this is the shade Pop the Bubbly. It is basically a gold cream eyeshadow. So whatever you have at home works well. I just like this because it was a nice shade of gold that kind of offset the yellowness to the other glitter that we're about to use. So you're gonna put this on keeping in mind the tracing that we have. You want to keep the gold in that shape. Again, this is just a base. It's like barely showing through, but that's okay. That's okay right now because we're going to take this guy. This is a Sephora collection sequence effect eyeshadow. The color is Glitter Fever. I love this as soon as I saw it. Look at that. So pretty. So with glitters, you always want to have a glitter glue or something, some type of base that's wet for it to stick to. And then you want to use a flat brush and pat it on. So when I pick this glitter up, I'm just going to pat, build it up on the brush, and then we're going to just stamp this onto the eyelid. And the patting motions is really the only way to build up a glitter shade like this. You're not ever going to be able to swirl or blend it in. So the next thing we're gonna do is take a gel liner. This is a Maybelline eyeliner, Eye Studio gel liner in the shade Blackest Black. I was obsessed with gel liners for the longest time. The reason being, gel liners to me are easier to apply than a liquid felt tip liner. So what I would do for the longest time is first go in with the gel and then go over it with the felt tip to make sure that everything was super black. But what I'm gonna do is use my gel liner with this Lavish Fine Liner pencil. This is an amazing brush. I used it in my last tutorial when I did my red wing. It's just really easy to apply liner with. So I'm just gonna take that on this brush, build it up on all sides, and we're gonna go in and do our winged liner. So let me just get this wing part down. What I like to do when I start with my eyeliner is start with the part that's closest to the lash line. So I like to stamp this in. Hopefully I can stay in focus. And guys, we are playing with glitter. So what I found that I have to do in between is just go and like clean off the brush with a tissue to get rid of all the gold glitter and then keep working with nice black liner. We're gonna perfect everything with the liquid. So don't worry about how crisp it is right now. You're always gonna go back in and clean. And then what I like to do is once I have this line down, then I can go in and connect it to fill in that space. And so that's how I create the shape of the wing. So we've done a lot of work with this gel liner. I'm actually gonna switch over to the Stila Micro Tip. So the Micro Tip Felt Tip Liner is just gonna help me really sharpen up these lines and make them nice and crisp, as well as go over any type of glitter that's not covered up by the gel yet. So for this inner corner, I'm just gonna take that and just crispen this inner corner up. So I still want it super black. I'm gonna go back into this Viseart palette and there's a black shade in there that we're gonna use with a brush to really darken up that shape. And then I'm also going to blend out a little bit of this top wing with that black. But let me just deepen this up real quick. I'm just gonna pat that on. And so what I did, anytime that I do any red lipstick or black liner, I always have a clean, small defining brush because I like to just further perfect by removing any excess or creating the shape that I want by taking this and getting rid of any extra stuff. All right, guys, so let's get started on complexion. First of all, let me just say thank you so much for putting up with my mirror being in the shot. I just need to be super close when I'm doing looks like this because I want to make sure that I'm telling you guys exactly what I'm doing and I'm describing it as I'm doing it. So thank you so much for putting up with that. Let's get moving right along to complexion. For complexion, I'm doing a combo that I did just the other day and I am absolutely obsessed with it, and it is this guy right here. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Primer as well as the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. I have combination skin, and the biggest tip that I can give my clients is to always prep their skin, whether it's with primers or skincare based off of their skin type. So I get oily in this midsection, which is why we're doing the matte lock in the center. And then I always like a radiance in the outer perimeter. So I'm gonna take 1 pump of this Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer and I'm gonna apply that right over the outer perimeter of my face. This has the softest glow to it. It is not even shimmery, it is just glow, like your skin is just glowing. So for foundation, we are taking on this Rare Beauty foundation. I hadn't used it in a while and I hadn't used it in full coverage since, I don't know, ever. And I wore it like that the other day and it was beautiful. So we are doing that again today. I consider this a lot, but you do get a lot out of this applicator when you initially pull it out of the container. So I will say that. We're covered up. And I'm gonna use my Morphe M439 brush, and we're just gonna push this into the skin, building the color, buffing it on. Super important for you to buff products onto your skin to build the coverage. Look at how pretty this foundation is. So pretty. What I do wanna do is put a little more here. I'm treating that guy. I've learned to not squeeze my pimples. That's what esthetician school taught me, is to not just go crazy squishing my pimples. Do you guys just, can you like help it? Do you squeeze? Do you not squeeze? Like, what do you do? Because it takes everything inside of me to just not immediately like. So next for complexion, I do cream contouring, and I am excited to try this guy. This is another product that I got for really cheap. I purchased all 3 of these for $12. Again, go see my video on how to get cheap Christmas gifts, or how to get cheap, good quality gifts, period. But this is the Fenty Matchstick in the shade Mocha. I do a lot of my bronzing and contouring with this, which is the Milk Makeup Flex Foundation Stick. However, I really wanted to try this. So we're just gonna work this into the skin. This formula is really nice and blendable. I've worked with it a lot at Sephora. I'm just gonna be generous with it because I know that it is, I don't wanna say that it's cheer. Whoo, my Puerto Ricanness comes out. Sheer, but I know that it does really blend out to a very natural finish. So I'm just gonna build it up and just work it in using this BH Cosmetics buffing brush. Again, we are using buffing motions to work this into the skin, and it is blending out so good. So for concealer, I really like the combo of this concealer with this foundation. This is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. So I use it in the shade Natural and Vanilla. Natural is our color correcting concealing shade. So I like to put that where I have any darkness, which is right in the smaller triangle. Redness seems to peek through in the center of my eyebrows. To blend that out, I'm using my Hank & Henry sponge, the smaller one. And I like to start by blending out the areas that are furthest away from the under eye, so I can let that under eye kind of start to set a little bit. Once you have your concealer on, you can absolutely stop and move on to the next part of this video. However, I like to highlight, and so I'm gonna highlight using the shade Vanilla, which is just a few shades lighter. And I like to take that right in this outer part, which I like to call the larger triangle. I will reinforce the under eye, like smaller area there, and then I will definitely give myself an even glow throughout the complexion. So you wanna always even out the highlight. That way it's not just focused or targeted towards one specific area, which is your under eye. That's where it can look really weird and look like you've got just, I don't know, white under eyes. So let's go and set everything. We're gonna set using this guy right here. This is a JoJo powder combination. I have a mix of 3 different drugstore powders in here, 2 of which are the same brand, just different colors. That's the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in Fair and Light. I just like the combination of the shades because it doesn't leave a white cast. And then there's also the translucent RCMA powder. What I'm doing is pushing it into the skin, guys. I don't ever just set powder once on my face and keep it moving. That's not realistic. I like to make sure that I work it into the skin, pushing it, blending it in, almost just like if we were blending out the concealer. All right, so once that is set, we are going to just set the rest of the face because we're going in with some more powder products. I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush powder. I love this powder. I use it in the shade medium 2. We've actually hit pan. I'm gonna take it on a nice fluffy brush. This one is the JH01. And we're just gonna go in and just make sure that everything is poreless and smooth and ready for powder contour. So I'm gonna go in and I'm going to contour up a little more. We're using my NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. I'm taking just a few of the shades here. I always just mix, to be honest with you. It's not one over the other, and I just reinforce. I like to start on the cheekbone and get a good base, and then once that's done, I will go behind the ear and just sweep everything under. You always wanna make sure that there is an even mix of color on your face. And so now that we are at this point, I think we are good to dust off any excess powder that's under the eyes, if you have any at all. For highlight, we're gonna use this this Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlight Powder in the shade Precious Petals. I like to take that with this Morphe M501. Now, I want all the glow when it comes to this look because of how glowy we are up here. So I'm just gonna put that right on the cheekbone. For a drugstore highlight, this is so good. Look at that. And I want a little more over that. So what I'm gonna do is take this Blushing in Bali palette, and there's a shade in there called Glisten that's even icier, and I'm just gonna brush that right above the very top part of my highlight. For blush in the same palette, we're just gonna use the shade Lychee and Coral and just kind of mix them together. And I like to just push them on to the apples and then blend them up onto the contour and the bronzer. I think we need a little bit of the glow. I'm gonna use this Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, although I will say there's probably nothing in here. Let me do my brows, put some lipstick on, fix my hair, you know the drill, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so this is the finished look right here. Pretty obsessed. I kept the little bun going because I felt like a ballerina moment, you know, like the Nutcracker. I don't know what I'm saying, but this is the finished look right here. I hope that you guys liked it. The lip combo that I did today is a little different than the one I've been doing lately. So I still use the NYX lip liner in the shade Kitten Heels, but I tried out this Dose of Colors Date Night liquid lipstick. It is a matte liquid lipstick that's very comfortable. The wand on this lipstick makes it super easy to apply. The color is just perfect for me personally. I'm obsessed. I'm quite literally obsessed. It's just such a good combo to this look. So this is our, you know, I don't want to say edgy because I already did say edgy, but this is definitely a glam holiday look. I don't even want to say Christmas. Like, I want to say this is a New Year's vibe as well. Like, look at how pretty. Definitely an attention grabber for the eyes. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys liked this tutorial. If you did, comment down below, tell me if you thought it was easy, if you thought it was hard, this is not for you, that's okay, just list it down below. If you want to see a different holiday look before this month is over, before the year is over, comment down below as well and tell me what you'd like for me to try. I'm just having so much fun with these looks, like they're so pretty. That's it for today, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday of every single week, things about beauty, skincare, and we have goals. We have goals to get to 1,000 subscribers, and you guys are gonna help me do that. So love you, bless you, and I will see you guys next time.